friends, welcome back. We're excited to start another week, and I have Lenny with me. So let's get started. You know what we do first. We need to sing our good morning song to everyone. So sit up tall and sing loud so everyone in your house can hear you. You ready? Good morning, all my preschool friends. Good morning, all my friends. Good morning, all my preschool friends. Good morning, all my friends. The sun is coming up, up, up. It's time to get out of bed. The sun is coming up to say, wake up, you sleepy heads. Good morning, all my preschool friends. Good morning, all my friends. Good morning, all my preschool friends. Good morning, all my friends. All right, Lenny's here with us again today, and he's gonna make sure that we are doing our good singing and counting. But first, get ready. Do you have your fingers ready? You can count your 7 days. Ready? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in the week. All right, months of the year. Ready? January, February, March, and April, May, June, July, and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. Did you notice something was different? April is back up here. And what month was missing? Did you see when I pointed down to our new month of May? Remember last time I told you that April was ending. It was the last day of April. So now we're in May. So we don't have to count very far. So I know everyone can count this far. You can even count this far on your fingers if you need to. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on the 5th day of May. So today is Tuesday, May 5th. Today is Tuesday, today is Tuesday, all day long, all day long. Yesterday was Monday, tomorrow will be Wednesday. Oh, what fun, oh, what fun. All right, so I know every time we have a new month, we usually have a new shape and a new color, but I got some exciting news, and I bet you did too, because I've talked to some of your moms and dads, that we can come to preschool next week. Isn't that so exciting? So instead of doing new stuff this week with our videos, I'm gonna wait till we come back to preschool next week so we can start our new shape and new color together. But if you want to go back and remember the purple song, or about Pentagon's 5 sides, or count to 19, or do letter K, remember? K, K, key. Go back to the other videos. I sent your parents all the videos again so they could have them in one place so they could click on them easy and see them again. So we'll get back to that next time when you are back in preschool. We're very excited. But while we're waiting for back in preschool, I still have 2 videos. So one today and another one this week. We're going to be talking about seeds and plants because in springtime is a great time for things to be growing. So we have a new story today. And this one is kind of a long story, but I still wanted to read it because it gives us lots of good information. And I know we've talked about plants before and seeds and growing things when we did apples. We talked about apple trees, and when we did pumpkins, we talked about how the pumpkins grew. So you already know some of this stuff. And I also like it because it talks about the seasons. And we've been talking about those throughout the year too. So I think you will really like this book. And it's by one of my favorite authors. His name is Carle. He has such, and I know we've read some of his books in class already too, because he just has such great books, and I love his artwork. He does such different kinds of artwork, and his stories are also so fun. So this is The Tiny Seed by Carle. It is autumn. Do you remember that we talked about how autumn is the fancy name for fall? So it's autumn time. A strong wind is blowing, and it blows flower seeds high in the air, and it carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? And there's the tiny seed way back here. See the other ones are going ahead and are a little bit bigger. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall, icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Do you remember we've talked about that seeds need water to help grow? So if the ice never melts, then there's not going to be any water for the seed to grow. Now they fly over the ocean, and one seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. Now this seed is going to get lots of water, but remember it also needs the nutrients and the food in the dirt, in the soil. So that's not going to work. So the tiny seed keeps going. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Look, it's falling in the desert. Do you know, remember we talked about that we live in the desert, and we still have plants, and we have lots of different kinds of plants in the desert. So since this seed can't grow in the desert, it must not be a good desert plant. But there's some cactus that are good desert plants. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not eat it. Now it's springtime. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring, and the birds fly by, the sun shines, the rain falls, and the seeds grow so round and full that they start to burst open a little. Now they're not seeds anymore, they're plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up towards the sun and the air. There's another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. Whoa, what is that? The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in the springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and he breaks one. Now it can't grow anymore. But there are still lots of other plants. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast. You see it starting to grow? But its neighbor plant, the neighbor seed, grows even faster. And before the tiny plant has 3 leaves and the other plant has 7. And look, it has a bud, and now it even has a flower. But what's happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, and then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to his friend. Sometimes you give flowers to special people. It's a nice thing. Lots of people like flowers. They usually smell really good too. Now it's summer, and now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone, and it grows on, and it doesn't stop. The sun shines on it, and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller, and it's taller than the people. It's taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. Do you think a flower could really grow that big? I think that's just some imagination, but it's still fun. Could you imagine if a flower was bigger than your whole house? That would be pretty crazy. All summer long, the birds and the bees and the butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. You see all the animals and insects that are coming to visit? Now it's autumn again, and the days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. And the wind blows harder, and the flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger, and it shakes the flower. And once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time, the flower's seed pod opens, and out come tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. And then guess what? It starts all over again. And I know we've talked about that too with our other apples and pumpkins, how you start with the seed, and then it grows, and then it goes back to the seed again, and it keeps going and going. And that's how plants grow, right? Just like flowers. So since we had such a long story today, we just have one quick thing, and then next time I'll show you something that you can make. You can make one of these too. All you need is, I just got a picture of a flower from the computer and the different parts. So I bet your mom and dad could help you find one, or you could make one of your own. So this is just the parts of the flower. So remember, when the seed goes first, and then the flower starts to grow when it has sun and it has water and the good food from the soil, the bottom starts to grow the roots, right? And the roots is what sucks up all the water and gets the food start going up so that it can grow. And then next, the stems start to grow, and the stem helps carry that food to the different parts of the plant when it's growing. And then next will come leaves. And leaves have an important job because they help make more food for the plant. So they help feed the plant too. And then if the plant is a flowering plant, it'll get a flower. And then sometimes the flower will change into different things. Remember with apples, they had a flower bud first, and then those came off and they turned into apples, and the pumpkins did too. Remember, they had the big yellow flowers, and then the flowers fell off and turned into the pumpkin fruit. So some plants stop at being flowers, and some flowers change into something else. So that's just a simple way that you can do to remember the parts of the flower and what the different things that does for the flower to grow. So next time we're gonna do a different kind of activity to build the parts of a flower. And also, since we're gonna finish this month with purple, even though it's a new month, we're gonna finish purple. If next time that you watch the next video, if you want to wear purple like we would if we were in preschool, then you can totally do that. I'm gonna wear purple, and I'm gonna bring some snacks that are purple too, just like we did in preschool. So you can see what kinds of purple things do you think I'm gonna bring next time. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.